Have you ever been told that we all have the same amount of hours in the day? Or that you have the same amount of hours in the day as Beyonce, so what are you doing with your life? I've heard these phrases a lot, and I've seen them on social media a lot lately, and I really wanted to address that because I don't believe that we do all have the same amount of hours in the day. Now, okay, I know, I'm an evidence-based lady, or at least I try to be, and sure, I mean, in the scientific and logical sense of the words, yes, we do all have 24 hours in the day. But do we have the same 24 hours? That's what I disagree with. What do I mean? Because I sound crazy right now. I get it. I'm with you. Just hang in there. Just another little sec, okay? Because here's the thing. Do I have the same amount of hours in the day as Beyonce? Here's why I disagree. She has kids. At least one kid. I don't know. I'm not up to date with my celebrity info, but she has definitely a child. So you might think, in fact, she probably has less time in the day than I do because I don't have kids. But no, she has a nanny. She definitely has like a chef. She definitely has a personal shopper. She definitely has someone who does her hair and makeup. She definitely does not take public transport. Sure, herself and Jay-Z have manies a car between them. And in fact, I would probably say she actually has a personal driver that will take her places. So she doesn't even have to worry about that. So all those things that she has help with in a day, that gives her a lot more time in a day than me. I do all my own cooking and cleaning, my own shopping. I have to drive myself. And in fact, I'd have less time if I was relying on public transport. And I suppose the reason I think we don't all have the same 24 hours is because we all have different levels of privilege. So celebrities like Beyonce have the highest level of privilege. They can literally outsource all the ish in their day that they don't have time for. But the rest of us have to do that. We all have to do that stuff. I have to do the cooking and the cleaning and the grocery shopping, walking the dog, normal people stuff. But then there's people who have less privilege than me, who I would argue have less hours in the day than I do. For example, that people who have to use public transport. If I was relying on public transport, I would literally have no time left in my day. I would be spending hours traveling. And I already do, and I have a car. If I was waiting for a bus all the time, I would have much less time. The same, if you don't live in an area that has schools, and so you have to travel to bring your children to school, or you have to bring them to after school activities, or if you don't live in an area that has good food shops or whatever, you have to travel to go and get those. If you're relying on working 2 jobs and one of them is a night shift, what you can get done in your 24 hours is a lot different because you need to sleep during the day when things are open, And so I just like to make these kind of points that it might seem on the surface like, well, everyone is doing what they can in the time that they have. I don't agree, because your time is so strongly impacted based on the resources, the tools, the support systems that you have. It's not just about the time, it's about who's around you and what's around you, and is that to your benefit or to your disadvantage. So think about it. Think about, do you have the same 24 hours as other people? Because like I gave the example there, Beyonce, I would argue, has more hours than me. But then there are other people that I think probably have less hours than me. And sure, I'm absolutely not against people figuring out where their time waste in the day is and figuring out how they can maximize their time and all that stuff. But remember that being able to do that is a privilege. If you have time to figure out how you're wasting your time, you got enough time, and probably time is an excuse for you. But it's not for everyone. And if you honestly feel like you don't have enough time, that's a valid excuse. I feel like it's always brushed off as if, saying you don't have enough time isn't an excuse because if you work X amount of hours and sleep, blah, blah, blah. Like, no. life is hard sometimes, and being able to account for every second of your day, and so that you can't use time as an excuse, is just, that's nonsense. You need a break from life for more than like 2 minutes a day. Please don't schedule all of your hours in the day. Please don't pretend that you have the same amount of time as Beyonce, because, you know, we don't. She gets way more help than all the rest of us. So don't be hard on yourself. If the notion of having all this free time keeps you motivated and gets you up and at 'em, then fine. But don't put that same expectation on everyone else. Thanks, guys. I hope you enjoyed this mini moan, and I hope it makes you think about time a little more deeply. Talk to you soon.